Welcome to my jungle. So I have a lot of houseplants and I love my houseplants. I also live on 1.5 acres of lovely subtropical garden here in the Sunshine Coast Hinterland in Queensland, Australia. And I also work from home full time. This is actually my office. I'm sitting in the corner of my office right now. So today I wanted to share with you 5 almost unkillable houseplants that you can put in your own home office if you work from home too and you want to brighten up your space with a bit of greenery. Even if you have a not so green thumb, potentially even a black thumb, the plants I'm going to share with you today are really difficult to kill. So you should be able to take a chance on them and have a go at putting them in your home office. So since I'm holding this beauty, I guess I'll start with this one, and this is pothos. There are multiple different names for this plant and there are multiple different varieties of this plant as well, but it is probably the easiest plant you could ever possibly grow in your life. It is so hardy. You can grow it in soil, you can grow it in water. Like honestly, the only trouble I've ever had with pothos is because I live in the subtropics and it can be very wet here and very humid. I've had a little bit of like bacterial infection issues with it in the past, but honestly, you just kind of snip those bits off or you chop off the good bits and you repropagate them and you've got a new plant. And it's so easy to propagate this plant so that you can make more of them. It really is just as simple as cutting off some bits and chucking them in some water and then changing the water out regularly, fertilizing the water as well so that the pothos has some nutrients to grow, and this is what you'll end up with. Like these few leaves on the bottom are new growth here. There's a whole bunch of new growth on this one. You can see it's even got air roots happening because it's been so wet here that it's just like, there's water in the air. I might as well just use that. So if you know somebody who has some of this, literally just get them to chop you off a little bit, pop it in some water, take it home with you, make sure it gets enough sunlight and enough nutrients to grow some roots. And then once it's grown some roots, you can either just leave it in the water and keep fertilizing it, or you can plant it into soil and Bob's your uncle, you have got a brand new pothos plant. So this is definitely one of my favorites just because it's so easy to propagate. I have so many of these now. I have, like, this is a neon pothos, this one here. The one that I had here before, this is just kind of the traditional pothos. And then the one I had originally, this has got some marble queen action up in here. And I've got a few other varieties as well. There's heaps of different ones. And they're, again, so easy, so simple. Highly recommend you get some of that for your home office. So the second plant is the good old peace lily. You will see these everywhere, and for good reason. It's because they are so easy to grow. They can tolerate low light. Low light doesn't mean no light. So make sure it is getting some light, even if it's just a daytime's worth of artificial light. They can survive in that as long as it's bright, but ideally you want to be giving it some natural sunlight as well. The more light it gets, the more likely it will be to flower for you. So if you actually want some flowers, you're going to need to make sure it gets plenty of light and plenty of nutrition. But it is one of those plants that you can kind of just ignore for a long time. And you'll know it needs watering when these leaves wilt, and it'll be noticeable. So don't overwater it. It goes with any plant really. I was an overwatering disaster. I used to overwater all my plants, and especially, as I said, living in a humid climate, it's a really bad idea to overwater your plants because they get fungal diseases and all sorts of horrible things. So just make sure not to overwater it. Wait for the leaves to wilt a bit before you do, and this baby will grow and grow. And another nice thing about it is it's one of those clumping type plants, so eventually you might be able to actually separate out into some new baby plants as well. Okay, so the third one is over here. Oh, you probably all recognize this baby. This is snake plant, Sansevieria, mother-in-law's tongue. It's got lots of different names, and there's actually lots of different varieties of this plant. I'll put this one on this side. I have another one down here. Where are you? This is another variety of the same plant, snake plant. This is one, you can probably tell there's a few like cut off bits at the top. I actually got this out of my mum's garden. I just cut a few bits off and chucked them in soil, and then they've got the new plants growing here. So that is all growth from the last few months. Again, it's so easy to propagate. You can literally chop a leaf off and either put it in soil or put it in water and you'll have a new plant. I'll show you some in water as well. So here's the same original plant I've propagated, and you can see I've got it just growing in water here. I'm going to show you without dropping water all over my camera equipment, hopefully. There's a little baby growing on there. Can you see that? Simple as that, all those roots have grown. So yeah, again, and I chop it in that V shape because it makes more space for the roots to grow. And then I've literally just put it in water, freshen the water every week or two, give it a little bit of fertilizer again, and this has just grown and it started a new baby plant. So super, super easy to propagate. If you find some in, somebody's garden that you can just chop a few leaves off, pop them in water like that, and you'll have a new plant before you know it. What's that, 3, 4? 1, 2, 3. All right, so the next one is the good old ficus. Now again, this comes in lots of different varieties. This is a really pretty one that has like peach colored leaves. Edges on the leaves are variegated form. I think this is actually the only ficus I have. I would like to get more of them though, so it's on my list. It's just that normally when you see them in shops, they're like really big and quite expensive, but I found this one for not too much, which I was quite pleased about because it is so pretty. But again, they are super easy to grow. Actually, they grow enormous eventually, so you need to be careful. Make sure you keep it in a pot. If you're going to plant this in the ground, be warned it will get enormous. But they just need a decent amount of light, so they don't, as far as I know, really like low light conditions. They like quite a lot of light, so make sure it is near a window. And again, just fertilize and water as it needs it. It's pretty low care. I don't have to water this or fertilize it very often. You can see it's growing another new little leaf baby in there. And they're just really nice plants, especially they can get quite big and be quite a statement plant in your house. But again, you can start with them really small as well. So they're quite a versatile plant, and there are heaps of different leaf and type varieties. So you could have a whole collection of these in different varieties, and a little garden would look really pretty. So my next pick for you is ZZ plant. This is a monster I've had for a long time. It's actually got a few broken stems because it had an incident with a sliding window and falling over. It was not great, but that is not actually the end of the world because I can just chop these bits off and turn them into new plants. So actually, maybe it's a good thing. Let me show you how to do that. Okay, so here's some I prepared earlier. These ones, again, were just stem cuttings, and they have now rooted in water to produce some beautiful new roots. Let me show you. Look at that. Lovely. These are pretty much ready to plant in soil now. They've been in water for a few months making those roots. And again, ZZ plants are super easy and they're really low light tolerant, and you can just kind of set and forget them. Make sure not to overwater them because they have really fleshy roots, and so I did kill one of mine once with root rot because it got too wet and the bacteria got in there and it was a bad time. So just be careful. Like with all of these plants, don't overwater them. Always test them. You can grab yourself a water monitor from like eBay or something for $10 that you just pop in there, and it can tell you how wet the soil is, or you could just put your finger into the soil, and if it comes out with damp soil attached to it, the plant doesn't need watering. So be careful with that. Make sure they get enough light. Remember, low light doesn't mean no light. Plants need sunlight because that's the food that helps them to create the nutrients that make them live. So they really need light. I've definitely killed plants because I've had them in a too low light situation for too long. It's okay if you, like something like a snake plant, you could put that in a dark corner for months and it probably would be fine. But If you do put it in a dark corner for months, make sure to bring it out and give it a bit more light for a couple of months as well. Sort of rotate your plants around. If you have that dark corner in your office, kind of rotate the plants that live in that corner around every month or so that they all get an opportunity to get light. Don't, however, make the mistake of taking a plant from a dark corner and chucking it straight in the sunlight. You can burn your plants. They need to kind of gradually move to to higher light levels so that they will adapt. So that's another trick for you. And just remember to fertilize them every so often so they get food, and they'll be very, very happy plants. Okay, so I said I'd say 5, but I want to give you one more bonus because these babies are, again, almost unkillable, and there are so many different varieties and types of them. This is a philodendron. So philodendrons are fantastic. They come in so many different types. They have, especially these big large leaf varieties, again, can tolerate low light. They don't need watering very often. They don't need fertilizing very often. And, you know, they also can be really great statement plants because they are, you know, they're trailing plants. So you can grow them up moss poles like this one, or you can grow them trailing down out of a pot, kind of like my pothos I showed you before. So that's a bonus for you if you want to get your hands on some sort of philodendron. They will be great as well. If you like plants, please give this video a thumbs up. If you enjoyed the video, also give it a thumbs up. If you're afraid that you're going to kill these plants, but you're going to give it a go anyway, give us a thumbs up. I'd love to know in the comments below what your experience is with houseplants, especially in your home office. Are you a green thumb? Are you a black thumb? Even if you're a black thumb, I am pretty confident that you can grow any of these plants if you follow those simple tips. Don't overwater it, give it enough light, and give it a bit of fertilizer once in a while. Chances are it's gonna be just fine.